Ellen DeGeneres was daytime TV's queen of nice. She danced, she talked to cute kids, and surprise, she's a huge asshole.
Ellen DeGeneres. Bullying, now even sexual harassment.
Hey, Ellen DeGeneres, I hope you never find employment again.
Turns out Shorty is a demon. Somebody stop this woman before it's too late.
So former employees actually said that Ellen's be kind motto.
That Ellen was mean, and all these people came out and said, Ellen's actually a fucking bitch. She lost everything. She fell apart, disappeared, because people found out that this character that she was portraying in half an hour on a television show is not really who she was. But I had already known that. My buddy Greg, who was one of her writers, he was like, she's a fucking mom.
For 19 seasons, Ellen DeGeneres told America one thing above all else: be kind. But then, her image cracked. Former employees started stepping forward and revealing a workplace driven by fear, bias, and misconduct. The woman who told millions to be kind was, according to those who knew her closest, anything but. Now she's being exposed by two of Hollywood's biggest stars. First, we have Keanu Reeves, who doesn't have a Be Kind campaign. He doesn't have talk shows or slogans. He simply is. Stories of his kindness have spread for decades, not because he shares them, but because others do. And then there's Katt Williams, who has spent years calling out the industry's illusions. The way they build personas, the way they sell you lies hidden behind smiles. He's been labeled as crazy, as controversial, and as difficult, but he's rarely been wrong. Three people, three paths to fame. One built an empire on illusion. One lives quietly, letting actions speak. And the other shouts the truth from the rooftops, even when no one listens. So today, join me as we explore the rise and fall of Ellen's Be Kind empire, the hidden truth behind the smile, and the two men who, without even trying, showed the world what a true hypocrite looks like.
Is Ellen DeGeneres rewriting history? That's what some of her former staffers claim she's doing in her new Netflix stand-up special, For Your Approval.
I got kicked out of show business. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, because I'm mean. Yeah. Yeah, you can't be mean and be in show business. No, they'll kick.
Before the catchphrase, before the dancing, and before the multi-million-dollar empire, Ellen DeGeneres was just a girl from Metairie, Louisiana, trying to find her place in the world. Born on January 26, 1958, Ellen Lee DeGeneres grew up in a middle-class family. Her childhood was unremarkable, the kind of ordinary upbringing that creates ordinary people. But Ellen wasn't ordinary. Before she ever stepped on a stage, she worked jobs that taught her something invaluable: how to read people. From selling vacuum cleaners door to door to painting houses and waiting tables, Ellen did it all. In 1981, Ellen stepped onto a comedy club stage for the first time. She was 23 years old, and she had no idea what she was doing, but she figured it out. Night after night, club after club, Ellen sharpened her voice, observational, relatable, and quietly honest. In 1986, she made history. She became the first female comedian invited by Johnny Carson to sit on the couch after performing on The Tonight Show. For a comedian, this was the ultimate validation. Her sitcom, simply titled Ellen, debuted in 1994. It was a modest success, a show about nothing in particular, built around her relatable, slightly awkward persona. Then came April 1997. Ellen appeared on the cover of Time magazine with the words, "Yep, I'm gay." It was the most public coming out in Hollywood history. At a time when being gay could end your career, Ellen stood on that cover and told her truth. Now the backlash from this was brutal. Her show was suddenly canceled. She was blacklisted for 3 years. She couldn't get work. The industry that had embraced her turned its back. But Ellen waited, and eventually Hollywood returned. In 2003, The Ellen DeGeneres Show debuted.
Thank you. It's September 8th. This is our very, very first show, and you are my very first audience.
It was supposed to be just another daytime talk show. Instead, it became a phenomenon. Ellen DeGeneres danced, she played games, she made people laugh, and she repeated one phrase over and over until it became embedded in the culture. Be kind to one another. The show became a juggernaut. 19 seasons and more than 3,000 episodes. Ellen won a staggering 64 Daytime Emmy Awards, more than any other talk show in history. She gave away cars and handed $10,000 checks to single mothers. She even surprised fans with dream vacations. Every episode seemed to feature someone crying tears of joy, thanking Ellen for changing their life. The message of kindness extended beyond the show. It became merchandise, scented candles that smelled like kindness, colorful socks with the Ellen logo, online courses teaching you how to be more like Ellen. At her peak, Ellen was earning $50 million a year, and her net worth climbed to nearly $500 million. She wasn't just a talk show host. She was an industry. Her company, Ellen DeGeneres, turned kindness into a product. Every tear of joy on that stage translated directly into financial success. Every heartwarming moment was also a business transaction. But here's what made Ellen untouchable. Her kindness wasn't just a brand. It was a shield. How do you criticize someone whose entire identity is built on being kind? Any accusation, any question, any doubt could be dismissed as an attack on kindness itself. For nearly 2 decades, that shield worked. Ellen could do no wrong. She was loved by millions, protected by a persona so carefully constructed that no one dared question it.
But behind the cameras, behind the smiles, behind the carefully built image, something was happening. Whispers and rumors that didn't match the public persona. The kindness was real to the audience, but to the people who worked for Ellen, it was something else entirely. And eventually,
this TV personality is speaking out about what it was like working closely with Ellen DeGeneres.
What happened, Tony?
Tony Okunbowa was the on-air DJ at The Ellen Show for 11 years. Now he is addressing allegations of a toxic work environment that is threatening Ellen's reputation as the queen of...
Producer is speaking out on camera for the first time about what it was like working for Ellen DeGeneres.
Toxic, phony, hypocrite, liar. That's what she is.
Now, if you watch closely enough, you will notice there were cracks in the Ellen facade right from the beginning. Take Taylor Swift as an example. In 2012, a young Taylor sat on Ellen DeGeneres' couch promoting her album. Ellen did what Ellen did. She played a game. She held up photos of men and asked Taylor to confirm whether she dated them. Taylor laughed at first, and then she asked Ellen to stop. She said she wanted to focus on her music, not her dating life. But Ellen kept going, and by the end, Taylor had been reduced to a list of ex-boyfriends.
I don't know what I'm...
You're supposed to ring...
But I don't want to. I don't want to.
All right, I'll ring...
Because they'll send me angry emails and I don't want to get them.
I'll hold it for you.
The audience laughed. But years later, fans watching the clip noticed something else. Taylor Swift's discomfort wasn't part of the joke.
What are you doing to me?
All right.
Then there was Dakota Johnson. In 2019, she sat on Ellen DeGeneres' couch, and Ellen made a joke about not being invited to Dakota's birthday party. Dakota didn't laugh. She looked at Ellen and calmly said,
Happy belated birthday. When was your birthday?
It was October 4th.
October 4th. You turned 30.
I did.
And how was the party? I wasn't invited.
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen. You were invited. Last time I was on the show, last year, You gave me a bunch of shit about not inviting you, but I didn't even know you wanted to be invited.
Well, who doesn't want to be invited to a party?
Well, I didn't even know you liked me.
The studio went silent. For a split second, the mask slipped. Ellen DeGeneres recovered quickly, making another joke, but anyone watching closely saw the truth. Dakota Johnson wasn't playing along. And then there was Mariah Carey. In 2008, Ellen joked about Mariah drinking champagne to prove she wasn't pregnant. The audience laughed. Mariah played along. Years later, Mariah revealed that she had suffered a miscarriage shortly before that appearance.
People are saying that that you're pregnant. There's rumors.
Don't discuss that.
All right. Well, you don't have to.
No,
answer.
that's okay. No, honestly,
you
how
don't
do
have
I-
to
how
answer
do
me.
I-
Let's just toast with champagne.
Now, in an interview with Vulture, Mariah is addressing that extremely uncomfortable moment with DeGeneres, telling the mag that she's really had a, quote, hard time grappling with the aftermath.
The joke, once seen as lighthearted, took on a much darker meaning. These moments were dismissed as isolated incidents, just Ellen DeGeneres being Ellen. But in 2020, the cracks became a canyon. It began with a BuzzFeed article. Former employees started speaking out, and once they started, they couldn't stop. They described a workplace ruled by fear, with staff yelled at over minor mistakes and threatened with firing for taking time off to attend family funerals, doctor's appointments, or simply for being human. Allegations of racism emerged. Senior producers were accused of inappropriate behavior. The culture behind the scenes was described as toxic and cruel. Ellen apologized. She said she was devastated to learn that things had happened on her show that shouldn't have. She promised to do better. Warner Brothers launched an internal investigation. 3 executive producers were fired.
Now with Ellen DeGeneres with another emotional apology to her staff in a video conference call after allegations of her show being a toxic work environment made headlines. This as 3 top producers, all accused of sexual misconduct, are...
Now the show would go on, they said, but it would change. The woman who told millions to be kind had built an empire on that word. But for the people who worked for her, kindness wasn't reality. It was just the brand. And once the brand cracked, the fall was inevitable. When the allegations broke, Ellen DeGeneres did what celebrities do when the mask slips. She apologized and claimed she didn't know those horrible things were happening on her show. But how could she not know? How could the woman who built an empire on kindness be completely unaware that her own workplace was ruled by fear? Katt Williams has spent years answering that question. Long before Ellen's fall, he warned anyone who would listen about Hollywood's machinery. They build you a character. They give you a label, kind, wholesome, relatable. Then they use NDAs and power to hide everything else. Katt describes it as a 3-phase process. Phase 1, character molding. They assign a flattering label, build a public identity that has nothing to do with who you really are. Phase 2, manipulation and suppression. They use power, money, and non-disclosure agreements to silence anyone who might tell the truth. Complaints disappear, whistleblowers are buried. Phase 3, the PR machine. They manufacture moments of kindness, charity appearances, heartfelt speeches, and staged generosity, all designed to maintain the brand. Look at Ellen's career through that lens, and suddenly everything makes sense. The kindness wasn't real. It was a product, manufactured, marketed, and sold. Now look at Keanu Reeves of decades of genuine, selfless behavior. Katt Williams has been saying this for years. The industry manufactures images, not people. And when the brand cracks, the truth comes out. In 2022, after nearly 20 years, the Ellen DeGeneres show ended. Ratings had plummeted.
trust was gone. The brand had shattered. By 2024, Ellen and her wife had relocated to the English countryside, a quiet retreat from the industry she had helped build. She attempted a comeback with a comedy special, but the reception was icy. The public hadn't forgotten. Ellen's story is a cautionary tale. Hollywood doesn't produce people, it produces brands. And brands, no matter how carefully constructed, can shatter. Meanwhile, Keanu Reeves continues to live quietly, generously, authentically. Katt Williams continues to speak truth even when no one listens. The contrast raises a question that cuts to the heart of everything we've been taught to believe about celebrities. Would you trust the person who constantly tells you to be kind, or the one who simply is? Ellen's kindness was a performance. Keanu's is a way of life. One required an audience, the other required nothing but being himself. As the credits roll on Ellen's empire, and as Keanu and Katt continue to inspire, the lesson is clear. Authenticity can't be manufactured, and eventually, the truth always comes out. Did Ellen deserve the fall, or was she just a scapegoat for a broken system? And who else in Hollywood is hiding behind a manufactured smile? Let me know what you think in the comments. Till next time, bye.